The drive back to my girlfriend's after my first year of college was electrifying. My excitement, however, led to a speeding ticket just 1 hour into the 7-hour drive. On any other day, I'd be calm, but today, my eagerness got the better of me. The officer was meticulous, extending the stop to a full hour with his thorough checks and endless questions. After a heartfelt apology, explaining my excitement to see my girlfriend, he seemed to understand and finally let me go. Once out of his sight, I unleashed the power of my Ford 350, letting the engine roar. But my freedom was short-lived. The same officer appeared again, his presence now menacing. Despite my cautious driving, his persistence shifted my nervousness to anger. When I hit the highway and he was still behind me, I pulled over in frustration, only to have him drive past. Our eyes met, and in a moment of rage, I flipped him off. A decision I instantly regretted, though he just kept driving. A wave of relief washed over me as I continued on my way, the incident now behind me. The evening was perfect as I entered a quaint rural town, deciding it was a good time to refuel. But there, at the gas station, was the officer's vehicle again, inexplicably far from his jurisdiction. After filling up and finding the store closed, I stepped outside to enjoy the serene night sky, contemplating the quiet and the distance to my destination. Suddenly, just a few miles into my resumed journey, my truck signaled a fuel problem. It was impossible. I had just filled up. Pulling over, I discovered a leaking gas line, deliberately cut. Could the officer be responsible? As I pondered this, headlights approached in the dark. Preparing for the worst, I grabbed my .45 and hid in the nearby cornfield, only to see a young couple pass by, easing my tension momentarily. But the mystery deepened as I examined the damage again, voicing my confusion, only for a voice to chillingly respond from above. Because why not? Out of the blue, the officer sprang out the back of my truck bed. His heavy boots connected with my chest and neck, sending shockwaves through my body. Miraculously, I didn't black out. Instead, a rush of adrenaline kicked in, fueling my will to fight back. I scrambled backwards, the world tilting around me, but I managed to stay conscious. The officer wasted no time, launching a barrage of punches that felt like being hit by a storm. Despite the onslaught, I noticed his attack slowing, his energy waning. Just when he paused, searching for his missing gun, I saw my chance. His laugh, thinking he had the upper hand without his revolver, echoed ominously in the night. But the tables turned when he found his flashlight and spotted his gun. Seizing the moment, I stood my ground. "Put it down!" I shouted, more firmly than I thought possible, aiming my gun at him. There we were, under the cold gaze of his flashlight, in a standoff that felt like it lasted forever. His hands went up in surrender, but the danger in his eyes was palpable. As I dialed for help, his laughter pierced the night, revealing a sinister knowledge of my girlfriend. He warned me not to cause him trouble, hinting that something could happen to her. The specificity of his threats, the detailed knowledge he had about her, sent a wave of fear through me. It was clear he wasn't bluffing. When the police arrived, their guns pointed at me. The situation worsened. My attempts to explain were futile. I was the one in handcuffs. The officer's gaze as I was taken away was a clear message. He had the power to harm my girlfriend if I pursued any charges against him. As the car drove me to the station, my mind raced. The officer's threats against my girlfriend loomed large. Caught in a dire situation, protecting her became my top priority, even if it meant staying silent about the injustice I faced.